So hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me back out on the banks of the reservoir and we're in search of them roach. So some people say us anglers are mad, and I'm probably confirming it today. Probably the last opportunity we're going to get to go out on the reservoir. It's the end of October. I should probably be pike fishing, but woke up this morning, took the kids to school and thought, let's go and give a go for the roach. I've not seen any fish top. The water is really cold and they've given rain showers and all kinds this afternoon. So yeah, we're up against it, but for now it's a flat calm. We've got all the gear out and let's just try and get a couple of bites. So before we get out there, surely just for effort alone, this video's got to be worth a thumbs up and a like, and leave a comment down below if you think we'll catch. But yeah, I've not seen any fish top in this area. I've just put a bit of hemp out to start with and come back from my depth plummet. Let's get out there and make a start. So one thing that might limit the session is how long I can stand in the water for, because it is cool. But we'll quickly go over the setup. It's my 17-foot rod. I've got my 6-gram VisiWag. That's down to 2 shots on the line. And we've got the normal 6-pound hook link, but we've got plenty of them lighter ones if we need them. Looking at the side tray, we've got plenty of that Hinders hemp. And you know you've got a good missus when you call her in work yesterday to put it onto soak, and she knows exactly what to do. Definitely a keeper. We've got corn, and in there we've got our hook links, and in the box behind me I have got maggot with me as well, so if we really begin to struggle then I've got maggot as well. So nicely set up. We've got rod rest in front, rod rest at the back. I've got all this area here. This is just trapped between the 2 bank sticks, and if it begins to rain later on, you can just push it over the top like that. So yeah, we're all set, nice and comfy. So the first cast, and I'm hoping that there's a few roach about. We have got some maggots with us, like I said, but I'm going to start nice and positive. Got a rod rest in case I have to wait for bites, so I'm nice and comfy. I'm just going to begin by feeding some hemp into the swim. I think we've just missed a bite feeding the hemp then. So you still got to draw the fish into your area, so you've got to be semi-positive with the bait because it's a massive reservoir, but not going to go too mad. Just go little and often, just trickle bait in, a few grains of corn like that. So one thing that I was hoping to see is some fish topping maybe, you know, just to give you a bit of confidence that there's fish about. There is depth changes all in front of us. It does go gradually out. And there we go, that's a confidence boost, that definitely. I was going to say there is depth changes. You've seen me fish the down wall down there where we're down to maybe 15 foot. There's got to be 20 foots in the middle. But to get a bite so early on, really made up. The first roach of the day, a real confidence boost. The fact that it's come on corn as well. We've not had to use the maggots. Keeping on putting the hemp in. Like I always say, let's not get carried away. Let's just keep feeding little and often. That's a great start. So just while we're waiting for the bite, you can see we're nicely set up, waiting for that bite. I'm starting easy. I'm only going to go hard if I have to. I'm starting on the top of the shelf. There is deeper water as we go past the float, and we can begin to search that water. But to begin with, I'm just trying to draw the fish to me and see if they'll move. And so we're just waiting for bites at the moment. We've had that first fish. It isn't prolific, but you don't expect it to be to begin with. You know, you just got to draw them fish in. But generally on here, when you get a few fish in, you can get a few bites. But at the moment, just enjoying being stood in the reservoir on a day off work. It is a beautiful place to be. You've got all the colours in the trees over there, the reflections in the water, and autumn is a beautiful season, most definitely. We just need a few roach to turn up. There we go, there's the second fish, and we are waiting for bites, but good to be getting a few. I mean, we could have come out here and blanked. You know, there's a lot of fish in here, but if you're in the wrong area, it's no good. But hopefully we can just get 1 or 2 bites and have a few hours catching these lovely roach. And the reservoir is one of my favourite places to wet a line, and it is a bit sad that this might be the last time we're stood in the reservoir catching these roach, but like I said then, just to be getting bites. I come up here sometimes and I know I'm going to have a good day and I can really attack the swim, and days like today, you don't really know. It's just about getting a few bites, but there's fish topping in the background and we're getting a few roach. So the next bite's taking a bit longer to come, and normally you feel like the swim's building, but that felt like it was not. It's been probably about 10 minutes for the next bite to come, so we are going to have to be really careful with the feeding, and maybe even consider moving over to maggot maybe, but I'm going to stick with corn for the time being. So that next bite has taken a while in coming, and I was beginning to think, should I feed some maggot into the swim, but just as I was thinking that, the float bevied and went into another one, so it's going to hold off a little. Sometimes on here you can feed, especially on the feeder, for about an hour and you feel like you're not going to get a bite, and then all of a sudden they just arrive. So I'm just going to persevere with it for a little bit longer. Good to be getting a bite. So even when they're fishing slow, I'm not a fan of doing nothing and sitting watching the float. I'm always just trying to make things happen, and just feeding a little bit of hemp like that, the noise it makes on top of the water just keeps bait going through the swim and keeps it ticking over, that noise, and hopefully just attract some fish in. But I'm not a fan of just sitting and waiting. I'd rather be positive and, you know, keep trying to push the swim along a little bit. It can kill it, but let's be positive and see what we can draw in. And that next bite's come a lot quicker. So just trickling that bait in and just keep it on ticking over the swim. So I'd rather be positive and look back and say, well, I tried to be positive and draw fish in, than maybe blank at the end of the day and think, well, maybe I should have put more bait in. And fishing is all about your instinct, you know, trust your gut instinct, read the swim that's in front of you. We're getting bites, so fish are coming into the area, so we're just trickling bait in, and while you're getting bites, you're doing it right. And so the fish will always tell you. So I've just gone that little bit further out, deepened up a little bit, so we've just gone down that shelf and the float's buried straight away. So maybe, yeah, I'm going to have to go that little bit further out to begin with. And going hard is worth it when the roach are of that quality. It's a lovely roach, that, against that backdrop. Beautiful fishing. Really starting to put together a few bites now. You can see there, getting bites while we're feeding. I'm just going on the line with that shadow of them trees coming back towards us. Just made that little difference, and hopefully we can draw them closer in once we're getting bites and make life easy. But at the moment, definitely improved the catch rate. One thing I've learned over the years, fish can be really stubborn, especially pike on the river. The amount of times I've moved one peg to the right and had 4 pike after blanking on the next peg all day. But these roach, just that little bit further out, getting away with it. But now we're well into them. I have to say, this water is starting to get a bit cold now. We've been in the water for probably 2-3 hours now. Getting a few bites, but yeah, definitely feel the nip on the legs now. But there are plenty of ways we can attack these roach in winter. We can go on the dam wall on the whip maybe, all on the feeder. So leave in the comments down below if that's something that you'd like to see. And this is definitely the last session stood in the reservoir, but I can't guarantee it because I do love coming on here. But yeah, definitely cool. And these fish are definitely cool as well. There's definitely a chill in them, and change is definitely coming. You can just feel it over the last couple of days. It won't be long till we have them first frosts and we're up chasing these fish on the river. Every so often you're striking and met with that bit stronger resistance and that jagged fight of a roach. I don't think I'll ever get sick of the sight of that tip just jagging away like that. And another sight is the reflections on this beautiful reservoir and a roach just breaking the surface. And another totally wild roach in the palm. Look at the colours on that, the gold in its gill. I'm filling the palm nicely. Definitely a chill in it though, like the last one. And them seasons are definitely changing, aren't they? But look at that for the backdrop. and just striking into that solid resistance. It feels like a nice fish to end the session on. Them skies moody behind, and up in the water comes a roach. It's got that golden hue to it, most definitely, and the beauty of being in the reservoir, just bring it straight to hand. And that most definitely is the fish to end on. That's a beautiful roach, that. Let's get it straight back. And the angler in me just can't leave. Back out, and another one of these quality roaches just come to the net. And I know what's going to happen. It's going to start absolutely bucketing down. I'm going to end up soaked. But the angler in me just can't leave. And who can blame me with roach like that? It's another clonking roach on the waggler. So the session does come to an end there now. And as you can see on screen, we've had plenty of bites in that short session on the reservoir. So I really have enjoyed that session today. Stood in the reservoir, catching them roach. It really does feel like a session that has marked a change in the seasons. It really has been cold on the legs. Stood in the reservoir today, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and we've been rewarded with some quality roach. I really do hope you've enjoyed this week's blog. If you have, please leave it a like and subscribe down below. And all that remains is for me to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight lines.